Today, we're putting the spotlight on something absolutely universally loved, but that can honestly be a little tricky to talk about perfectly in a new language.
Oh, for sure. Today is all about mastering your conversational English when it comes to music.
So here's our game plan for today. 1. Core words. 2. Meet the instruments. 3. Expressions for playing music. 4. Exploring music genres. And finally, 5. Avoiding common mistakes. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, Core Words, specifically untangling music versus musical.
Right, so before we can even talk about bands and concerts, we really have to get these two words straight. On one side, we have the uncountable noun, music. This is the broad, overall concept. You listen to music.
Exactly. You don't say a music or a musics, it's just music. But musical is an adjective. We use it to describe things. So you wouldn't say a music instrument, you'd say a musical instrument. The word musical just describes the type of instrument it is.
Now, what's really interesting is how we talk about the actual person making the art. A musician is the noun for the person.
Right, and look at the textbook's example sentence for this. My brother is a very good musician. He plays 3 instruments. Notice how clean that is? We isolate the person, the musician, completely from the concept of music itself.
Moving right along to Section 2, Meet the instruments.
Okay, now that we actually know what a musical instrument is, here's a quick list of some of the most common ones from our source text. Let's just read through these cleanly so you can hear the natural English pronunciation. I'll take the first few. We've got the piano, guitar, violin, flute, and I'll round out the list for us. Cello, clarinet, drums, trumpet. And hey, notice the stress on words like guitar and violin. Honestly, getting that syllable stress right makes a huge difference in sounding fluent.
So, we want you to actively use this vocabulary right now. Tell us, which musical instrument would you like to learn?
Seriously, take a second. Picture the word in your mind. Maybe you want to learn the cello or the drums. Connecting this new vocabulary directly to your own personal preferences is literally the best way to make it stick in your memory.
Okay, jumping into Section 3, expressions for playing music. It is one thing to just name the instruments, right? But it's a whole other thing to put them into action with verbs. Our source material gives us some great fictional students to map these expressions out. I'll call out the student, and you give us their expression. Ready? Let's look at Isabella.
So Isabella has piano lessons. Notice we use the verb has here.
Perfect. How about Mia?
Mia is a very good flute player. Here we use the instrument name plus a hyphen and the word player.
And Lucas?
Lucas is an excellent violinist. So for the violin, the person actually becomes a violinist, which is super similar to how someone who plays the piano is a pianist.
And this actually brilliantly illustrates another key phrase we need to cover. Take this sentence. Mia plays in an orchestra. Yeah, so when you're talking about playing classical music in a really large group, with string, woodwind, brass, and percussion instruments all together, the word you need is orchestra. Plays in an orchestra is just this perfect, natural chunk of vocabulary to memorize. All right, Section 4 already, exploring music genres. Let's shift our focus from playing to just listening. Here are the main genres laid out in our source. We have classical, which includes heavy hitters like Beethoven and Mozart. Then we have opera, pop, folk, jazz, and rock.
I definitely lean a bit more toward jazz and rock myself, but I really want to point out a massive trap here on that first bullet point. The correct term is classical music. Our source explicitly notes that saying classic music is a mistake. Classic means something is a great example of its time, right? Like a classic car. But the genre of Beethoven, that is always, always classical.
So how do we actually talk about what we like and what we really don't like? Consider this sentence. Harper can't stand opera. She prefers pop music.
Can't stand is such a fantastic, natural phrase. It just means you dislike something very much. So if you really, really don't like rock, you'd say, I can't stand rock music. I prefer folk. Throwing that into your conversation makes your English sound incredibly natural.
And speaking of conversational English, check out this phrase. I downloaded some new songs yesterday. Do you want to hear them?
This is exactly how we talk about acquiring music today. We don't really say, I bought a music record anymore. We say, I downloaded some new songs, or even, I streamed some new songs. It's so important to keep your verbs modern.
And finally, Section 5, avoiding common mistakes. So this is our troubleshooting section, designed to fix 2 very frequent conversational errors that pop up all the time. Let me try one. Last weekend, I went to a really great birthday party, and they had a really good music band.
Ah, and there's the mistake. The incorrect phrase is a music band. The correct phrase is just a band.
Exactly. As the Cambridge text points out, the word band inherently means a group of musicians playing modern music together. If you add the word music in front of it, it sounds redundant and honestly a bit unnatural. Just say band.
Let's look at the second mistake. Let's say I'm going out tonight. I shouldn't say, we're going to a music concert tonight.
Right again. Just like band, a concert is already completely defined as an event with music. Adding the word music is totally unnecessary. You simply say, we're going to a concert tonight. Keeping it simple is absolutely the key to sounding fluent.
Well, we've covered a ton of ground today, from the difference between music and musical to instrument names to the natural way to talk about bands and concerts.
And to leave you with something to actively practice, we have one final question for you. Do you prefer classical music or pop music? And how would you describe your favorite band using the vocabulary we went over today?
Really think about your answer. Practice using the phrases we learned. Remember, use classical, not classic, and maybe try tossing I prefer or I can't stand into your answer.